Welcome to the news. To present it, my name is Jessie Kalambo. The headlines. A family of Kalukanya Township in Mufulira district left in tears over the death of a relative. Concerned Lusaka residents express worry over criminal activities in Woodlands. Social cash transfer increase excites Mungu residents. Police in Mungu intercepts RDT kits. Katibiya receives 240 bicycles for Census 2022. And now the news in detail. A resident of Lusaka's Woodlands Extension area, Joya Tembo, has bemoaned the increase in crime activities taking place at the isolated Bush Border View area. Mr. Tembo says criminals and drug abusers are taking advantage of the area to commit crimes, with a dead body having been picked up from the area a week ago. And area councillor for Lua Ward, Clement Milonga, has assured residents of safety as the council and some locals have moved in to clear the area.
This bush area in Lusaka's Woodland Extension has been a source of concern for the local residents because criminal activities have taken shape on the area. Just about a week ago, a dead body of an unidentified man was found in one of these makeshift shelters. According to the residents here, criminals as well as drug abusers hide in these makeshift shelters and end up take advantage of the residents. This has prompted the local authority in partnership with the residents to clear the area. Mr. Njoya Tembo is the chairperson of the Neighborhood Watch.
Those days are gone. We have Zambia police whom we are working with very closely, just like we are working with Lusaka City Council. And we are every night patrolling the areas. In the day, very soon you will see us get on the ground. And that is a timely warning, just to tell you that this is not a place where Nkuleta Ichimpwena or place Yamasovera Yai. We want to maintain peace in this area, and so any sort of criminality must stay away from this area.
Clement Milonga is Ruwa Ward Councillor under Lusaka Central Constituency.
We need to strategize and find ways and means to make sure that those people are actually removed from there completely, because it's also another hiding place for thieves. Another hiding place for criminals. Those that are doing illegal mining there along Ring Road, those are the people that are selling scrap metal there, because they are going to steal those metals from people's homes. And it's very unfortunate that people have become negative about it, because they feel that's the only source of their livelihood.
For MUVI TV News, I'm Afias Kaptula in Lusaka.
Shangola Municipal Council has cautioned members of the public to avoid buying land without documentation. Council Public Relations Manager Evelyn Mlenga says the local authority is concerned with the number of unsuspecting developers who have purchased pieces of land from unscrupulous individuals without authentic documents. She warns that the council will not be held reliable for any transactions made without following the correct procedure.
For Council, we are appealing to members of the public that are intending on buying land from any other persons apart from the local authority to ensure that they have all legal documents verified by the local authority. What we are saying is, before you purchase land from any individual other than the council, you come through with the paperwork, you come with the offer letter, and you bring all the receipts so that the council can verify who's the rightful owner of that land you're about to buy and has it been fully paid for. So please engage us before you make that payment. What happens is we have a number of people that come through, they've already purchased land, then they find that it was illegally sold to them. So to avoid this, the plea is come through to the local authority, we check you if that paperwork is correct. And council will not be held liable in case of any transactions that are done illegally. It's on you as a buyer for not coming to verify the documents.
Mulemwa, a woman of Shungwe village under Hidmani Mando in Mongo district, has commended the new Don administration and President Hakainde Hichilema for increasing the social cash transfers for persons with disabilities from 360 kwacha to 800 kwacha. Ms. Mulemwa says the money has eased the burden of looking after her 30-year-old daughter, Mukelebai Simatongo, who suffers from serious epileptic attacks. Ms. Mulemwa says the increased SCT to 800 kwacha by the UPND-led administration has placed her in a position to plough a little of that money for the growth of her family business. She narrates that her daughter Mukelebai began suffering serious epilepsy attacks since the age of 2, which altered her normal life completely.
This village of Shungwe under headman Imando in Mongo district of Western Province lives a woman who for over 30 years now is looking after her daughter Mukelabai Simatongo, who suffers serious epileptic attacks. Miss Matongo's condition began at the age of 2 and since then it has become a way of life. Mother to the patient, Miss Mulemwa, has managed to provide for her daughter because she is on the social transfer scheme for persons with disabilities.
Kina ya pepile mwana yo ya bizomkela ba Simatongo kisiholesa kuwa kutuko wakanono nina kukafela kukushaya kuwana chwalo akuna chincheo ya kwasipatela akuna chincheo.
With an increment of the social cash transfer money from 360 kwacha to 800 kwacha by the new Dawn administration has cheered her.
Chake nifisa witumelo kuwaka indi. Kalifale na hola 360 kwacha. Chaifa sa hola 800. Fumani chincho yetu na huu kuzwa kali kamono luinezi ngerusa wali mashirinya. Kwa wikapene kao, waluze uka hola. Kayanga famuko kwa wale katu utapitwa kasino. Nge tuleksiwa. Kaka muka profiti mateni wacha. Kaka muka profiti wale kalipeo. Kaka muka profiti wale kela mukuli walu na sasina. Chake nifitisa witume lobo kuwaka kubo present ya kainde. Mbatize zorotilie mwana.
And Mongo Central Member of Parliament, Olive Amotike, has assured that more is yet to be offloaded by the new Dawn government for the benefit of the Zambian people. Liambela Mutumba, MUVI TV.
Police in Mongo district of Western Province have intercepted 496 boxes of rapid diagnostic testing RDT kits at Malamba Harbour after a tip-off from the general public. Western Province Police Commanding Officer Fuambo Siame confirmed to Zanis that one suspect, Kuwota Sitali, 34, of Makoma village in Sukongo district, has so far been arrested, and the Land Rover registration number BAT6968 laden with the contraband has been impounded and packed at Mongo Central Police Station. Mr. Siame says 5 other suspects are still on the run and investigations will continue in order to find out the source of the RDT kits. He says the government RDT kits from the presidential initiative of the American people under the malaria program will be kept at the police station awaiting the completion of the investigations. The commanding officer disclosed that this is the 3rd time that the province is receiving reports of stolen medical drugs, with the first case recorded from Lapula, then the second from Nalolo district. The University of Zambia owns a school of veterinary medicine. Professor John Muma has called on food consumers to stop paying attention to food quality of products ordered on markets. Instead, must consider and pay attention on how safe the products are in markets. Speaking at a media workshop in Lusaka, Professor Muma says the government should put up measures on food safety that will ensure the public on what to eat from markets in order to reduce the high rate of illnesses and deaths from contaminated food. Professor Muma further notes that there is a lot of work to do, such as educating and protecting the public from consequences. One is to be faced if found wanting.
People say, no, this cremora is not good, it's not safe. It's safe, but it's made for what? For adults, not for babies. Okay? And if also they say The consumer also has got what? Responsibilities, a lot of responsibilities, which are supposed to be sensitized, and much is supposed to be done by the media, supposed to be sensitized. One thing is that when I go to buy something, I need to be assured that what I'm buying is safe. So the government should put in place a system that assures the public that what they are finding on the market is what is safe. Are you following me? National Food Safety System. So the National Food Safety System is made up of many parts, many components. When we talk about system, how many of you have got musical systems? That's one player. Then we have got the industry. Then we have got the academia. Then we have got what? The consumer. So for a system to function properly, each of these must be doing what?
You're watching MUVI TV's Primetime News. We take a break. Coming up next is more news items. Stay tuned.
Grandpa, will you please tell me a story?
This is the source of all good stories.
Grandpa, but that's only today's Daily Mail.
This newspaper has all the stories you need to know. Did you know that Zambia got its independence in 1964? And guess what? This newspaper covered the story. It was called the Central African Mail then.
It also covered the story of Chiluba, re-ushering Zambia's multi-party democratic system.
Sometimes this paper brought us sad stories. Other times it brought us great news. But this paper goes beyond facts. I got my first job by looking at the job advert section of the newspaper.
Wow! This paper really has everything.
Yes, it does, my grandchild. And this is the story of Zambia.
Zambia Daily Mail, without fear or favor.
Place a bet, search on the web, or get the app. 1xBet Bookmaker Company.
Lelo kuwina pa new deal game show ni diviri tipicking ama numbers ya ngati ya biri kubwera kuwina ndrama up to 2,000 kwata imwe ni lelo osati day nangu so ngati mufuna kuwinako jailingani star 265 star 13 275 star 5 hash sending ngati muna 6 kwata or more jailingani star 265 star 13 275 star 3 hash sending ngati mulina 4 kwata or more mu mobile money account yanu olo jailingani star 265 star 13 275 star 2 hash sendi ngati mulina 3 kwata or more imwe lelo ni diviri madiongo tupasa tabe ma 50 ma 70 ma 100 ma 50 ma 70 ma 100 join the winning team imwe enter the more you enter lelo madrozi ni angati ya bidi up to 2,000 kwata so ikugwira lelo enter the more you enter the more chances you have of winning makwata enter. The answer is yes. She said yes. Yes!
Chawama.
Congrats, bro!
What?
We'll be there. Last Sunday of next month.
Ew, are you here?
You may give her the ring.
Everyone, say Tufi life.
Tufi life!
One day, I'll give you the world.
Oh, you already have.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. Some concerned stakeholders have beefed up consultation with the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA, on how best the tax waiver can be handled. A team of representatives of arts and media Tuesday morning held an engagement meeting with the Minister of Sports and Arts, Elvis Nkandu, and the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA, to deliberate on how they can address issues surrounding taxes on the importation of arts equipment. Mr. Nkandu reminded the authority that the issue of a tax on arts equipment has been raised more than once by stakeholders. The Kaputa lawmaker advised that government has begun the provincial consultation in line with the view to develop the arts policy and later review the film policy, which were never launched. More in the following report.
The film policy, which was never launched. So far, though not conclusive, the findings on the ground are very similar in almost all parts of the country. Similar in a way that less than 2 months ago, the same challenges were brought out during the engagement meeting I had with the artists on the Copper Belt, and the challenges were as follows. One, access to finances, taxes on importation of equipment, which includes music and film equipment. The more reason why we have met today and see how best our colleagues from ZRA will be able to guide us on how to go about it. There was also the issue of piracy and intellectual property rights, just among others. As government, we are interested in ensuring that arts are empowered and contribute to the economic development of the country. From there, quality productions. The long-term objective of tax relief on musical and film equipment would enable our artists and filmmakers to produce music and films with larger budgets and higher screen value, which can sell locally and internationally. So to improve our two industries as we express our differences and uniqueness so positively through our creative people. Having said that, I want to say that I should conclude by stating that government remains committed in creating an enabling environment for art development through various engagements with different government sectors impacting the arts industry in Zambia. Art has a big role to play in promoting our nation's distinctive identity to a wider world. As we interact, I request that colleagues from ZRA, my ministry and artists, there is need for you to deliberate on how best we can address the issue of taxes. It is very, very important on the importation of arts equipment.
As filmmakers, our major capital really lies on equipment. It determines the quality of what we can produce. It informs also what, therefore, access to financing we can have.
Important component in our art is equipment. So if you allow as many producers to bring in this equipment, that means that we produce more. So when we produce more, there will be more people to be paid, there will be more people where other monies will be going, which can also allow you to broaden your tax base in our sector. So if you can give us a breather from the equipment, which is the production house itself, then it is easier for you to increase the tax base, because when this equipment comes in, there's more production.
The understanding of artists, because there's what we call creative writing in art. So this is what we come in, where we come in as a ZAWA, whereby we publish books for creative writers in Zambia, even the young ones. So if we can also look at the aspect of equipment in terms of printing equipment, because there are also a publication and binding machinery that are not that are available in Zambia for us to produce those professional books.
The district in Wachinga province has received 240 bicycles that will be used during the counting of the forthcoming national census of population and housing exercise. Kanchibiya District Commissioner Crispin Chilekwa disclosed the development to Zanis shortly after receiving the bicycles yesterday. Mr. Chilekwa says the 240 bicycles will be used by enumerators that will be recruited to conduct the forthcoming national exercise in Kanchibiya. The district commissioner is elated that the district has received the bicycles in good time, adding that very soon it will also be receiving mattresses and some motorbikes for the same exercise. The district commissioner pointed out that the forthcoming national census of population and housing exercise will be conducted from 18th August to 14th September 2022. Meanwhile, Mambobu Ward Development Committee Chairperson Happy Chileshe has appealed to Kanchibiya residents to actively participate and cooperate with enumerators who will be going door to door collecting data. Mr. Chileshe says the accurate counting of the population and housing can only be achieved if people are cooperating and providing the necessary needed data to the enumerators. He said census will help the government to have an approximately number of people in the country, which he said plays a vital role in planning and budgeting for the nation. And speaking in a separate interview, Joseph Maba, a grade 12 school leaver, has appealed to the Zambia Statistic Agency to consider recruiting a bigger number of enumerators from within the district so as to empower the local people. Zambia conducts a census of population and housing every 10 years, with the last census having been conducted in 2010. Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry Chipoka Malenga has officially opened the Enhanced Integrated Framework EIF with a call for support to help Zambia's products make it to the global market. The EIF is an affiliate of the World Trade Organization WTO, formed by developed countries aimed at integrating least developed countries LDC into the global market by addressing various trade impediments. Speaking at the 34th meeting of EIF in Lusaka today afternoon, Mr. Malenga has called for the EIF to help the country meet international standards for quality and pricing of products to break into international markets. EIF Vice Chairperson Martin Bindeni says Zambia has benefited about $6.9 million from the program. And European Union Head of Corporate Arnold Bochard, who is an EIF donor facilitator to Zambia, has called for the usage of regional resources in developing and integrating LDCs in the global market. The countries that from the EIF include Norway, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Spain, Switzerland, and Luxembourg, among others.
So this government is to make sure that we extend our access to market, not only within the region, but even outside Africa, in Europe, Asia, and the rest of the world. But time and again, the challenges that we have faced have been cited to be phytosanitary measures, quality issues. As we sit in the board meeting that are about to start tomorrow, on behalf of the government of Zambia, and of course that of the LDCs, I implore you to consider how much you can make access to your market for our products.
Will be launched today and will shed light on what has been achieved and what needs to be done more. I have learned that there are encouraging results delivered across the LDCs benefiting from the EIF support. I would like to particularly highlight the following. First, successfully building the digital trade capacity of a large number of LDCs and integrating the climate change dimension into trade capacity building support. Second, helping the LDCs and soon to be graduating LDCs to attract investment into their strategic value chains.
It is imperative that this meeting takes stock of what has worked and what has worked less and what can be improved. The IEF has been instrumental in fostering the delivery of aid for trade to these developed countries by bringing together various partners, most of the stakeholders. And its strong focus on alignment with national priorities is essential, and it must continue to be the cornerstone.
Comes more news item. Stay tuned.
Place a bet, search on the web, or get the app. OneXBet Bookmaker Company.
How to use your home Airtel Money wallet when traveling across Africa. Step 1. Get used to a new place. Step 2. Learn the language and culture. Step 3. Pay your bills in a foreign country using your home Airtel Money wallet. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
The past 2 years have been a time of learning new ways of doing business in a new world, and many businesses are hungry to create new linkages. The Zambia International Trade Fair provides a platform for you to engage with the world, showcase your product, share ideas, learn from others, and get recognized for your innovation. It is also a place to get away and be entertained by various acts. And this year's Back from COVID affair has got bangers lined up. We are not taking this return lightly. The trade fair will be high energy, high performance, high engagement, and high trade. Come on, grab a stand. Let's get back to business and take back the years that COVID has taken.
Welcome back. In other news, the construction of a temporary track stop is underway along the Chilavombo-Chingola road in a bid to decongest marooned trucks. Chilavombo Mayor Lucky Sichone has expressed displeasure with the reluctance of officials from the Democratic Republic of Congo to improve their situation. He says it is sad that truck drivers are being subjected to inhumane conditions due to the congestion. Southern Africa Development Community Truck Drivers Association President Eugene Lovu has called on government to expedite works on the temporary truck stop. Once operational, the Nchanga Motor temporary truck stop will house over 500 trucks.
Enough space for our truck drivers. These trucks that are lining along the road, stretching for a distance of almost, I think, maybe even beyond 40 kilometers, because from Kasumbalesa all the way up to somewhere Chambeshi there, it's about a 40-kilometer stretch that is being affected. So those people are being subjected to inhuman conditions. And first of all, we want to sympathize with them because the conditions that they are being subjected to, they are inhuman. Those are our brothers who also deserve to be in a proper environment where they should be given clean water, they should have proper toilets. They are lacking such services. So if we put ourselves in their shoes, it's quite embarrassing. It actually feels bad that they're in such a situation. The most unfortunate part is that we've been having meetings with our colleagues from Congo side. Most recently, the governor from there came, and we were in a meeting in Chingola at Protea Hotel, where in attendance 4 ministers were there: the Copperbelt Minister, the Minister of Commerce, Transport Minister, and also the Minister of Mines was in attendance. where it was agreed that we are going to increase the number of working hours at the border, so that these trucks, this issue is resolved, to make sure that a number of trucks were going to be pushed through. But unfortunately, once the meeting is done, our colleagues, when they go on the other side, what they do is the opposite. We have meetings here, but when they go there, we don't put to practice the things that we agree. But anyway, it's very, very unfortunate, because if they had honored what was agreed, I think this issue could not have been discussed now. We are not going to be seated here to talk about something like that.
And this queue has been with us for quite some time. The effects are known to all of us. The drivers have been subjected to untold suffering over the same. As you are aware, there are no sanitary facilities along the road, no water, no toilet. During the night, we've seen increase in terms of
Youth activists have called on government and civil society organizations, CSOs, to support and protect child rights. Speaking in an interview, one of the activists from International Plan Youth Advocate Fanny Ngulube in Chipata district of Eastern Province noted that the issue of child rights requires more non-government organizations to come on board and help expand more the knowledge on child rights, especially in rural areas. She has further urged parents to guide their children and prevent the high rate of teenage pregnancies and early marriages in the country.
Right of women in Africa, the Convention on the Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. The Joint General Comment Development by the African Commission on Human and People's Rights and the ACERWC on Child Marriage, Joint General Recommendation, General Comment number 31 of the Committee on the Elimination and Discrimination Against Women, and number 18 of the Committee of the Rights of the Child on Harmful Practices. Acknowledging that while some African countries have made progress in adopting progressive laws, policies, and national strategies towards the elimination of harmful practices, children still continue to be subjected to various harmful practices. Considering that harmful practices affecting girls are part of the larger.
The Drug Enforcement Commission of Zambia, DEC, says that youths have become major victims of drug abuse and illicit trafficking in Zambia. DEC Public Relations Officer Matthias Kamanga says that after the COVID-19 outbreak, there has been an increased number of youths who have engaged themselves into drug abuse and illicit trafficking. Mr. Kamanga said this during a Zambian National Broadcasting Corporation's NBC update program in Lusaka today. He urged the parents to be aware of their children's behavior and to be quick in noticing changes of behavior in their children. Mr. Kamanga was speaking ahead of the commemoration of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, dubbed Fighting Drugs and Substance Abuse Through Strong Families and Health Lifestyle, which falls every year on June 28th. Mr. Kamanga urged the parents to engage with their children and sensitize to the effects of drug abuse and illicit trafficking to create awareness amongst their children. Mr. Kamanga appealed to the government to build a nation rehabilitation center that will ensure that people are reformed and rehabilitated to become better citizens. Chukankata Area Member of Parliament Jacqueline Sabao has warned the parents in Chukanka district of Southern Province to desist from marrying off their girl children at a tender age. Ms. Sabao warned that those who marry off their girl children at an early age will soon be visited by the long arm of the law. The parliamentarian sounded the strong warning in an exclusive interview with the Zambian News and Information Services in Chukanka district of Southern Province. She says instead girl children should be allowed to go to school, especially this time when there is free education policy being implemented by the New Dawn government and the able leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema. And Ms. Sabao further disclosed that the 1 million kwacha marked for the manufacturing of school desks in the district will be utilized prudently. Ms. Abao says the desk will be distributed equally to all the schools dotted across the district. She said the New Dawn government would not want to see school-going children sitting on the floor anymore. We take a break.
Grandpa, will you please tell me a story?
This is the source of all good stories.
Ah, Grandpa, but that's only today's Daily Mail.
This newspaper has all the stories you need to know. Did you know that Zambia got its independence in 1964? And guess what? This newspaper covered the story. It was called the Central African Mail then. It also covered the story of Chiluba, re-ushering Zambia's multi-party democratic system. Sometimes this paper brought us sad stories. Other times it brought us great news. But this paper goes beyond facts. I got my first job by looking at the job advert section of the newspaper.
Wow! This paper really has everything.
Yes, it does, my grandchild. And this is the story of Zambia.
Zambia Daily Mail, without fear or favor.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *778#, then select the option that says Make Payment. Select Pay TV, then select MUVI TV. Enter the 12-digit smart card number, then enter the amount you wish to pay. Enter the MUVI TV account number, omitting the dash before the last digit. Then select the amount you wish to pay.
For inquiries, call customer care on 0764 250055 or 0764 250052 or 0978 732 411 or 0978 732 412.
Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. A family of Kalukanya Township of Mufulira District in the Copperbond Province has been left devastated after she discovered the unceremonious death of one of her relatives who was serving a jail sentence at Kansanshi Prison. The family claimed they are receiving conflicting statements from facility officers on the ordeal. The affected says what is more shocking is that the body of the deceased has been found with deep cuts on the face with blood clot on the nose. It is also believed that despite the body having been discovered in the prison cell on Saturday night, the no docket has yet been opened against the would-be suspects. Meanwhile, the family also revealed to our staff, Aliambela Mutumba, that on Wednesday afternoon, the deceased called to inform them of the alleged unfair treatment he received from officers at the time. We end the news on that note, a recap of the top stories. A family of Kalukanya Township in Mufulira District left in tears over the death of a relative. Concerned Lusaka residents express worry over criminal activities in Woodlands. Social cash transfer increase excites Mungu residents. Police in Mungu intercepts RDT kits. Kachibia receives 240 bicycles for census 2022. Thank you so much for watching the news. Continue enjoying the rest of our programming. This has been Jessie Kalambo.
As COVID-19 cases keep rising, many business entities are affected and their revenue keeps going down. But together, we can fight COVID-19. Rumpi Enterprises provides you and your organization the safety you require in these hard times of the COVID-19 pandemic by using effective disinfectants, procedures,